Hi, my name is Tim and this is Timberway Designs. This is a series of videos where I take rocks that I find or purchase and make them into a cabochon. This week we got a piece of Turritella. Let's make a cabochon. So this week we have a piece of Turritella agate that I bought at a rock show. And it's got these little mollusks in there. Actually, they're fossils. So what I'm hoping is we'll expose some of them in the cabochon we're going to make. So this stuff here is pretty hard. It's got a Mohs of 6.5 to 7. And they find it in the Green River Formation in Wyoming. But I've made a few cabs out of this. It shines really good. It's really hard. And the pattern's kind of interesting. So I think, and it's got a crack right up the center here, so we're going to try to avoid that. Yeah, it goes through both sides. I think what we're going to do, I'm going to make this triangular shape here. I'm trying to, I think we're going to go with this side here. Okay, obviously you can't see all the mollusks in there, but try to get close. Okay, here we go. So we'll go downstairs and trim saw. We'll trim this out, and then we'll take it over to the cabber and grind it down to the lines, put a dop on it, and then make a cabochon. So let's head downstairs and get started. So we're down here on my 5-inch high-tech trim saw. Got our piece there. We're going to trim this out. I think that's all the closer I'm going to get. Probably going to be a little grinding on the bottom here, but we'll get through it. Okay, we're on my 6-inch Kingsley North cabbing machine here. We're going to start with the 80 grit, 220, and then the 280, and then I like to kind of hit the edge with some 600. So here's our Turritella. If I said that right. So we're going to go ahead and grind down to the line. It's not going into a bezel, so just get it on the line and everything will be fine. So let's get started. Alright, that's about as close as I'm going to get. You see it started kind of chipping on the line right there. That's the thing you got to watch out for with the harder stones. I'm going to move on to the 220. Alright. I think it's close enough for me. So when you're on these two hard wheels that aren't cushioned, don't stop moving because you'll grind a flat spot, especially when you're dealing with radiuses like this. You don't want a flat spot because on the harder stones, the cushion wheels will not take out your flat spots. So you got to do that over here, but just don't stop. So now we're going to hit the 280. Got for a shine if I can get it dried off. Yeah, that's not too bad, just on the 280. Let's hit a little 600 here and take another look at it. You'll be able to hear us, but I'm not going to move the camera for it. Alright, let's take a peek. That's not bad. 600. I'll be curious what it looks like with the cerium oxide. Well, like I said, I got some pretty good shines out of this. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put a dop on it, and then we'll come back and make a cabochon. All right, we're all dopped up here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start grinding a 45 in this and down to I'm going to make a girdle, a flat line on the bottom down here. About 1/8 inch, a little over 2 millimeters, and it'll be flat, and then the 45 will come down to that flat line that I make. And then once I get that established, I'll grind a 45 a little higher, and then just leave a little flat spot right in the center, and then we'll start doming. So let's get started. Okay, we got that. The girdle's established now, right here. I got kind of a 45-ish. It don't have to be exactly 45, as long as you got an angle going off your girdle. So now, I'm gonna put it on there, and I'm gonna take this edge off here. Stay away from the girdle though. You're done there. You already established that. So just kind of go around, take this edge off until you got a little flat spot in the center. Alright, so now you can see that's the original one, and then that's the one I just put on there. Now, in some books or some people will tell you you keep grinding 45 till this flat spot is gone. Usually once I get to this point here, I'll just start doming. I'm just checking. See if I'm getting the flat spot out. Still, I can kind of see it a little bit up there. And then my dome's a little high. I like it a little lower than that. Yeah, I could probably stop now, but I think I'm just going to take a little bit more off the top. But I could live with that. Okay, so we're going to go on to 220. And so on the harder rocks, when you're on the 220, you know, I go till I feel like I'm done, but on the harder rocks, you got to go longer because it's putting some pretty good scratches in here. And this is not as aggressive, obviously, as an 80 grit, so it takes a little bit longer to get down through all the scratches, because what can happen, especially on the harder rocks, is you'll look at it and go, oh, I got all the scratches out. But then when you get all the way down to the end, you're going to see scratches. And then you got to come back on the 220 and start all over again. So I like to avoid that. So we're going to hit the 220 now. Take a look. And I can't really see any scratches. But that don't mean they're not there. But I think I got them all. But we'll find out at the end. Now I'm going to hit the 280. I'm going to break the edge. Looking good. I'm going to try to get some of this wax off here. Okay, so I'm going to move you over to the polishing side and we'll continue. Alright, we're over on the polishing side. Got 600, 1200, 3000, and then the cerium oxide around the corner there. So we'll start with 600. Move on to 12. Pretty good. We went out 3,000. All right, let's take a peek on the, see what we got with the 3,000 grit. Not bad. So we'll run it on the cerium oxide so we can bump this a little bit more. Okay, got cerium oxide. My splash guard in place because it flips water everywhere. Now turn it on. See what we can do here. There's a shine for you. So I'm going to take this up and put it in the freezer, and then we'll get it off the stick and take a look at it. So we had a clean break. Got a really nice looking cabochon here. Let's take a closer look. So we got ourselves here a nice looking Turritella agate cabochon. Got a really good shine. You kind of see one of the snail shells in the middle here. Just not as good as those there, but I tried to grind in. There's one there, and I mean, they're all over the place in here, but there's no, you know, one sticking out going, whoa, here I am, you know, type deal. So there's the back side. I just smooth the back side and cut the edges and then polish the front. Now I'll put this on a bale. I'm not going to do it on the video today. Yeah, there you go. And it's shined up pretty good. I'm impressed. And yeah. So this will be available on my Etsy store in the description down below if you want to click on that and take a look at it. I got some other stuff in there. Hopefully I'll be putting more stuff in there. Just trying to find time with all the other activities outside of making these videos. Well, I took you through my steps on how I make a cabochon. This Turritella cabochon here came out pretty good, I thought. So the next week, we're going to make a cabochon out of the brachiated jasper that lost against the green fuchsite in episode 22. And I like it. And, you know, I'm not going to say I hope it won because I like both the stones, but this one is going to look really cool, I think. So I'd like to thank all my subscribers out there and all you folks that are subscribing. I really appreciate it. It just makes me feel that my content is worthy of all you out there and having a lot of fun doing this. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Just click on subscribe down below. It's free. And then move on over and give me a thumbs up because that gets the analytics out so other people can see this content. You can ring that bell, you know, and then share if you want with your friends, family, or whoever. So I appreciate everybody watching. That's all I got. I'll catch you later.